Let food be thy medicine.
And medicine be thy food. And that's a famous quote by Hippocrates. And we just wanted to start off this video with that because today is day 30 of my vegan challenge.
What?
I did it.
30th day already?
I did the 30 days. I know. It did go by faster than I thought. And I freaking did it. I'm so proud. I'm so happy. I feel amazing. Of course, there were some hiccups along the way, and I'm going to share all of the juicy details.
Yes.
But
I'm excited.
But I'm so happy. It's such a happy day. And you know what? It was easier than I thought it was going to be.
What?
It was easier than I thought it was going to be.
Can I hear that again?
If you listen to my the Diary of a Dairy Queen video, if you listen to that video, you would not think this day was possible because I didn't think this day was possible.
And this person is talking about the way she does. Look at that face.
Yeah.
You can't fake this, by the way. Like, I so sincere. And then I swear to God, Cheryl, like, your face looks much different. Your body, even though you told me it hasn't really changed since that first few weeks.
At day 15, I said I lost 3 pounds, but at day 30, I haven't continued to lose weight. I stayed at that 3 pound
But I don't know what it is. I don't know if your whole skin got cleared. I don't know what it is, but you're just glowing. Maybe it's like...
I'm extra gluey today.
You're extra gluey today.
I like gluey now.
Yes.
Now gluey is the new word for glowy if you watched our last video.
But, oh my gosh, it's fun.
But you know what I want to start this video off with today, G? I feel like the last video, I took such control over the video because I had so many things that I was feeling that I actually want to start this video today about you.
Oh. What?
I want to know, and I'm sure the audience wants to know, what's your story? What was your vegan challenge like when you first started? When you made the step to go vegan, what was your reason? Why did it happen? How did it happen? How was it hard for you? How did your family react to it? I want to know your version of the story, and then we can get back to me.
Oh my gosh, that was a big surprise, I have to say. I'm gonna try to make it short as possible because I know you're giving me the torch. Is that what's called?
Yeah, I'm passing the torch. Yeah,
you're passing the torch, but I think it's important. It's your diary, so I wanted to. But let me just give a quick synopsis.
I want to know.
Actually, I was going through a really tough time prior of becoming vegan.
Because of what?
Because of just I partied a lot. I did bad stuff. I drink a lot. I did other stuff as well, and I was kind of going down path. Like I wasn't really in the right mindset as well. So there was accumulation of a lot of different stuff, and I was actually going to I think it's psychiatrist. It's like it's somebody that you just talk to.
A therapist.
Therapist. Thank you. It's not psychiatrist, but I kind of put it in the same way. At one point I actually almost went on medication. I was like feeling really despondent. I was feeling really down. I thought just in general the life was not going in the right way for me at the time. And all this intro is because one day as I was coming back from therapist, I was going into the subway and somebody was handling the pamphlets.
About going vegan?
Pretty much.
Huh.
And that was my first...
Or was it a pamphlet about animal cruelty?
No, it was actually about both. It was combined in two, and they did such a phenomenal job.
Is that the pamphlet you gave me?
No, that's a different one. I was looking for that one.
Because this was how many years ago?
This was like about 5.5 years ago.
Okay, so you've been vegan for 5.5 years.
About 4.5. I lied. About 4.5. I kind of keep, which is kind. I think it's a kind of cool thing you don't even think about. It's not like 31, 32.
Yeah,
like,
I've been vegan for 30 days.
No, but that's good. I had my celebration, and I remember looking at the pamphlet. And they did such an amazing marketing, I have to say. They use a pig, but all I knew prior to that moment, I knew like it's a pork chop or it's like a sausage or whatnot. This
you
time,
didn't know it as being a cute little personality.
it was actually
guy.
they put the names, the human names. I thought that was
You're like this
genius.
is Freddy the pig.
Pretty much, it's like Stacy the pig, and look at the duck. This was the name of the duck. This was the name of the fish. This was the name, and there was like each story for each and one of them, and about their lifespan and what's really going on in life. And up until then, I knew one friend who was vegan for many years, and I didn't understand. But every time she will cook, I'll be like, this is actually tasty, yummy. And she will like, Goran, the vegan doesn't mean it's disgusting.
It doesn't mean.
I
know a lot of people think that way. A lot of people.
I was the one of them, right? And then she made me like this. She gave me vegan mayo, which I'm crazy about, and I'm like, this actually tastes better than regular because I'm a mayo freak. You know how you say like you're dairy queer?
Dairy queer.
Queen, dairy queer, whatever. It's New York, right?
I'm sorry, I couldn't hold in that
was
a good one. That was a good one.
The dairy queen. Well, let's call it a queer. The dairy queer, right? I was like a mayo freak. I mean, I put mayo even in soup. Like, I went to the extent that people are like, okay, you are ridiculous. Like, I can put mayo in anything.
That's gross.
So for me, I know, right? It's totally gross, but some people who love it, they will understand. Anyways, moving along. And I'm like, this actually tastes really good. And then, after leaving the therapist, I got the pamphlet. I don't know what it meant. I don't know what it was. But I just thought to myself, let me give a try. I really didn't put any. That's
you
why
didn't
I'm
put
like,
a time frame on it. You're like,
there
I
was
just
no
want to
time
try
frame.
this. Okay.
I said I wanted to try. I think there is more into this. And then what I started doing, I think this was a key for me. I started watching a lot of like documentaries. One of them, which is very gore, but it was big for me, was Earthlings. That was one of the.
I'm afraid
ones.
to see that one. I can't watch the
disturbing ones.
Yeah, the disturbing because I'm gonna cry about the animals and I'm gonna have nightmares. But What the Health and Cowspiracy, those ones are totally easy to watch because What the Health focuses on.
It's really like a factual thing.
Yes, it focuses on the benefits of a plant-based diet for your health, and Cowspiracy focuses on the benefits of a plant-based diet for the environment. So it's not showing you all the horrible stuff about the animals if you can't take watching that stuff.
Right.
Like, I have such a hard time.
And to back up on what you're saying, which I finally understood, it took me a while to really understand, especially people who are very into like loving animals and all that. That's another level to it. And there's really no need to it if you don't need to see it. So for me, I needed that.
As long as you're educated about it, you know what's happening. You know, like it's no secret what's happening out there to the animals.
We know
you know what
that,
I mean?
We all know that sausage is not coming from.
Yeah, we just choose
plant,
not to think about it, and we choose not to care about it, and that's what needs to change.
Correct.
You know?
But for me, I needed that extra push.
Yes.
Because for me, I needed that to realize, because in Earthlings, just to do a quick synopsis on that, it actually talks about 5 ways that people use animal for. And that was a really good concept, you know. First is a pet. I know it's kind of, pet, what do you mean? But there's like, even in the United States, there's over 17 plus millions dogs and cats that actually they put them to sleep because they can find them a home.
Yeah, and again, that's something that everyone knows, and everyone knows that. You know,
and some people may not even know or whatnot, but that's just one of the ways. They goes into like food as well, and the entertainment, and also the scientific researches and makeup and stuff like that. So there's like 5 different layers. So for me, it was really like breaking it through. So it was a big opener
you wanted
for me.
to be educated from all dimensions.
Correct. Because I was totally delusional in my head. I never connected those two. That's what I meant, delusional. I never really, every time I would go to a grocery store, I would
when you ate pork, you didn't think about anything.
Yeah, you're like, you see the cute little slices of meat, you don't really put meaning to it as much. It's so fantastic how the society, the way you grow up and everything just kind of makes you just go with it.
Society just hid, kind of like figure out a way to just not really show us any of it.
But I didn't know better, so I went with that. So I started learning more, and then the more that I started learning, the more I got educated on my end, and I'm just talking in my aspects. The more I become aware of like, oh my gosh, I think I know where I'm going, right?
Yeah. So that's what you needed to help you get through it, and that totally led the way for you.
Totally.
Makes
and
sense.
It was very
Makes
stable. And I told people and family, and because I was always trying and I was giving up. And this was like
really? So you weren't successful your first try?
In my life. No, not with veganism. Anything in my life.
Oh, with anything else?
Anything else in my life. I will try and I will not finish.
But this was the first thing that you did?
Can you believe that?
Wow.
And it was something that I didn't even need to think about. Like in terms of like, there was never like religious, like like religiously thing or like health reason, specific health reason at the time. It wasn't anything like that. It was just like, hey, let me give a try. And I remember saying this then, and I'm saying this even now, and I'm saying this for a reason. I said, I'm gonna give a try, but I'm never gonna say I'm gonna be vegan forever, because I don't know what's gonna bring. So I keep.
So you didn't put that mindset in your head, which I think a lot of people do, and that's what hinders them from being successful, is because you're like, oh well, it's vegan or the highway, you know, but it really isn't, you know.
Absolutely. So even today, I say the same thing after 4.5 years going strong, because I don't know what tomorrow brings. What I believe is that I'm going to sustain becoming vegan pretty much all my life, but you never know. So that's kind of like, I'm very open in terms of that. I don't know what's really going to happen. I don't think it can turn around, but there's all these things that we don't think about, and then they turn on you. So that's why I have that open mindset, like, hey, let's see what's going to happen. But so far it's been running really good. So
how did your family handle it?
Oh, not good. You know, I'm originally from Serbia. As many of you guys know, I am the black sheep in the house. I am,
as am I.
But it's all
in a good way.
But
we're proud to be the black sheep in our family.
My mom is devastated, which is so funny. Sometimes I hear her talk to me, and I can see the devastation in her voice, and that hurts me just because. You know, I know she wants the best for me, and this is the route that I've chosen, and I'm not going after her in terms of like, you shouldn't be eating meat, but you know, she's still my mother, and she cares for me, and all she knew is what she knew. She didn't get educated in other aspects and whatnot.
Luckily you live in a very, very vegan friendly country now.
But you know, most of my family now, they kind of give up on me in terms of like, they're like, it is what it is. My mom still tries.
They still try to get you to eat meat, but they're not trying as hard now because they know that you're like the real deal plant-based diet.
You know, I keep telling people, when people ask me, this is just a side note, I kind of like to go extreme in a way. But just to describe, and if you continue the route of that, it's going to make even more sense. But it's probably going to even make sense now. When people ask me like, oh, it's hard. In the mindset that I used to be, it felt hard. But in the mindset that I'm now, it's not hard. And the way I define that, it's about simplistic. I use the sexuality, just because it's such a big, just a big difference in a way. You know, whatever your sexuality is it hard to be in that type of like, if you're into guys, like, is it hard to be with a guy? Of course not. It's a natural kind of thing. It's kind of part of you. But it won't be natural for you if you're just into guys to be into girls in a way, right? So for me, I kind of see the same way. It's not something that I'm like forcing myself to do. It's kind of become a second nature to it. I don't know if that kind of brings
some perspective on how you feel about it.
Correct. Sure. So for me, it's like, just, you know, whatever, like, you know, I feel similar way, you know. It's like, it feels that way to me. So enough about me.
Well, that's awesome, babe. Well, I mean, congratulations to you for 4.5 years.
Thank you.
Vegan. And have you ever had any mistake moments?
Well, I didn't have a mistake moments, but I had I would say recently I went back home, and I had like talked to my family, and they convinced me to go vegetarian.
Well, they negotiated with you.
They negotiated. Like, I will never go.
Yeah, this story he did tell me, but I want you guys to hear it.
But you know, it was like a moment of like, hey, if you go vegetarian, at least 5 of our member family will stop smoking.
I know. Imagine saying that to someone who's like really, really proud of being vegan, and they say, oh, but we'll negotiate with you. We'll quit smoking if you eat this meat right here in front of us. And for the love of his family, you know, because getting family members to quit smoking, that's huge, right? Because you love your family and you want them to do that.
Yeah, and it was a huge deal for me. I don't think they understood that they will ever understand how big this was for me. But I did.
So you did it for them?
I did it for them.
What did you eat? What did you eat?
Okay, so we start with actually salami. They
Oh,
wanted me.
that
I
wasn't
know.
even a. If you gonna,
I know. They're like,
it
just
should have
have
been an
like a bite.
empanada or a slice of pizza.
No,
I mean, my
no,
gosh.
it was a moment. I actually have a recording, which is
Salami.
crazy. Maybe we should put the
Yeah.
but it's in Serbian, so you won't understand. But you understand the concept. They're like, there was like a 7 or 10 people. They're like, if you know how much you can change the lives if you eat this piece of meat just to show us that you're gonna go vegetarian. Like the bite of meat was just kind of like.
I'm sorry, that it was wrong of them to do that.
But I forgive them. I love them. You know.
But did they hold up their end of the deal?
No, they didn't.
So my gosh. So you
They
ate
did
the
for a
salami
few days.
for what?
You know,
For
somebody
what?
did for a few days.
And you know
Somebody
what?
did for a few weeks. But in the
Yeah.
end, they all came back
Yeah.
to smoking.
So if
and as
that
soon
what
as
you
I-
should have said was, okay, when you are a non-smoker for 6 months, then I will go eat a piece of meat with you.
Yeah.
That should have
Well,
been the counter offer that you gave them.
The way it worked, that will never work anyway, because even with this bet that we did, they didn't sustain their bargain.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
and honestly, to be honest, I was staying home for a month, and I kind of told myself, I'm just gonna do a month with them, and they don't know when I come back. I was gonna turn vegan anyway.
Yeah.
But in their mind, I was
So
about to
how
cheat
did
as well.
How
so
did it feel eating that stuff?
I swear to God, they actually made a fish for me, which was like, I was like, okay, this is getting ridiculous right now. But as I was eating the fish, it just felt like, it didn't felt like, oh my gosh, like I was enjoying it or anything. I was
It
just
was
like,
you didn't feel like you were missing out on this food, like
Absolutely not.
like it was like a nice to have it back for a moment.
No.
It was just kind of
No,
like,
not even that.
did it taste not good?
It
Not
didn't
as
taste
good as you remember?
The one thing I'm gonna say, it was yogurt. I have to be honest. The
Yogurt was what,
yogurt
bad or
was
good?
Real good.
Oh, it was good?
Yeah, because back home we have a lot of like bakeries, like a lot of like pastries and bakeries, right?
Mm-hmm.
So those stuff goes real good with yogurt, and that's like my food when I was really young. So
That was what
when
you
I
had when
tasted
you
that, I
lived
was
in
like,
Serbia.
holy! But like there is like a good
Aw.
substitute that is a very equivalent
Yeah,
to that.
Kite Hill makes awesome vegan yogurt.
Or plain something, I don't know. So there is definitely that. So that was the one thing I was like, damn, this really does taste good. I
But the
won't gonna
salami
lie.
was gross. The fish was gross.
Yeah, and then the one thing also was good, I'm not gonna lie, was those like some sweets. You know, like chocolate and whatnot.
Yeah.
That kind of goes natural to it.
Yeah.
But the only mistake that I saw was like milk in it. Other than that, like even Nutella, if there's no milk, it will be vegan. So
You know, that reminds me, I actually preferred milk chocolate over dark chocolate, you know, before I was vegan. And I've been eating a lot of dark chocolate through this past 30 days because something that's helped me get through this challenge is making sure I put a lot of like yummy sweets and stuff in my vegetarian
good
diet, especially for this first month. And I'm telling you, the more I eat dark chocolate, the more I'm really starting to love dark chocolate.
oh my gosh.
Yeah, so it's totally growing on me, and it tastes kind of more real. Actually, it tastes more.
And that's the taste we were talking about, the taste buds.
like more like authentic chocolate or something. I don't even know how to describe
like
it, but
that.
it tastes better than like. You know, I used to love Reese's and Mr. Good bars and stuff like that. I actually took all of those candies out of my house and brought them to the Super Bowl party that I talked about in the
that's
last
right.
video, and everyone was eating them like crazy. But I remember when I had a couple of those chocolates right before I went vegan, I remember thinking how they didn't taste like I don't want to use the word fresh. They tasted not not good quality.
Wow.
Like not good quality. And I feel like the chocolate I'm eating now tastes like quality chocolate.
Oh, I like that. Wow, that's enough about me. I want to hear all about you. I was very surprised. Thank you for giving me the moment.
I think your story is just as good as mine, if not better. So, you know, and everyone's journey is different, and everyone's journey is inspirational. You know, we've all had a different path as far as the people who have tried becoming vegan, and I think we can all learn something from all of our paths.
Yeah. Thank you for that.
Yeah. So, I mean, I'm going to keep it real with you.
Yep.
And I'm going to tell you right now, I went to Daytona and Disney in Florida.
Yes.
In between, you know, the last time we did this video and this video. In between the 15-day video and today's 30-day video. And Daytona and Disney is not vegan friendly. Ooh. It was kind of tough to do that during this first month. I wasn't like totally prepared for that. But luckily I did bring a bunch of bars. So I made sure to carry a bar around with me at all times. And whenever I got hungry, I just kind of had some of the bar. And luckily, because we actually had pit passes for Daytona. So I was so like busy in the pits and at Disney. You know me, I'm all about maximizing my time and getting on every freaking ride. So because I was so busy at Daytona and Disney, food wasn't really a priority to me. So like when some of my friends and stuff went to go like sit down in restaurants, I wouldn't do that. I just went and kept doing rides and stuff like that. So it wasn't like I was sitting watching around everyone eat these meals. I just kind of just stayed away from it,
I like that.
had my bars, and kept myself moving, doing things that I loved and enjoyed.
You got yourself distracted.
Yes.
Which is like
Distracted.
a really such a good point, because you know, it's what I like to say all the time, like, you know, if I had I had an alcohol problem, just to go back there, I don't want to go back to the club and sitting right in the front of the shank when it's like alcohol looking at me. Like it's almost like, okay, come on, you're signing up yourself for a disaster right there. So now I'm ready to go there and be okay with it or without.
Yeah.
But in the first stage, I wasn't ready.
Yeah.
So I wasn't trying to tap myself and see how strong I am at the time.
Yeah.
I knew I was big.
Yeah.
And I didn't want to tempt it for nothing. So that's a really good
Exactly.
point.
So I wasn't tempted. There wasn't a lot of vegan options, but I wasn't upset about it either because I was having a blast and I was keeping myself busy.
Awesome.
And
That's a good tip.
And I didn't run around feeling hungry or anything because I was still having bars and stuff here and there. And of course there was a couple things that I found, but it wasn't like, you know, they really need to get on board with the vegan trend right now. But the next thing that I wanted to talk about was something that I got really worried about. I thought that I messed up and ate some dairy, and I was really, really scared because I didn't know. So what happened was, I don't know if you're aware, but if you think like cauliflower pizza crust, does that sound vegan to you?
Yeah.
Yeah, it sounds vegan, right? But every single cauliflower pizza crust on the Whole Foods website, because we order Whole Foods to be delivered. That's how we do a lot of our grocery shopping. All of their cauliflower pizza crusts have dairy in them. I couldn't believe it.
Wow.
And I made a pizza the day before with a cauliflower pizza crust, but it was from Trader Joe's.
Oh, thank God.
But so I was doing my grocery shopping on Whole Foods, the Whole Foods website. And I was like, oh my God, all these have dairy. What if the one I had last night had dairy? So I started Googling, because I already threw the box away. So I started Googling Trader Joe's pizza crust, found images of the back of the box, and started reading the nutrients. And thank God the Trader Joe's one was vegan. Like, I love you, Trader Joe's. I love you. Thank you so much. Because I would have ruined my 30 days.
Yeah, but you know, I will kind of forgive you on that, just because that's kind of like, that's a learning curve, actually.
I was so relieved though, because I'm like, I've been working so hard, and the last thing I'd want is to mess it up over a reason I didn't want to mess it up. And the thing is, the pizza actually tasted so good that I was even more concerned. So I'm like, oh, well, now there definitely had to have been dairy in it, because that crust tasted way better than I thought it was going to taste. I'm like, I know it. So I was like, saved by TJ. Saved by TJ. You know, they're doing it right, and Whole Foods needs to hop on board with the vegan cauliflower crust and not fool us, okay?
That's kind of crazy, because it's like a veggie.
And they have tons of cauliflower crusts. None of them are vegan. Wow. None.
Well, that's a really good pointer, because vegan do look a lot into ingredient list.
Yeah, and that was going to be my next point. I can't tell you how much I stare at ingredients for every single thing I buy now, which is something I never did in the past. But it's actually a really good habit to have.
It is.
Because you become so much more aware of what things are made with, aware of what you're putting in your body, aware of sugar content, aware of, you know, what's clean eating and what's not, and just what brands are doing it right, you know. And it's even though it takes time, I feel better being so much more self-aware as far as all the nutrient facts.
The tip.
Yeah.
It doesn't need to take that long.
Oh, that's right. You mentioned an app, but I haven't downloaded yet. What's it called again?
The app is called Is It Vegan?
Is It Vegan?
And it's really good, guys. All you have to do, you take
you scan it, right?
It's a
scan
scanner
the barcode
system, and it scans and gives you 99%. You will find the.
But I feel like it's just as fast to just read the thing.
But you know, there's another point you brought it up of the camera, you mentioned like when you're buying the ingredients, less is more. You know, and I keep thinking of what you've said, because I will turn around and
If it
I
has
like
a
the food
shitload of
and there's like a
ingredients,
millions
yeah.
of items. I'm like,
Yeah,
what is this
that's
whole
usually
thing?
a red flag.
You know, that's already a red flag, because like, why cauliflower has like a million different ingredients? It's a simple. It should be a simple.
Yeah,
simple
the
there.
TJ's cauliflower crust just had a few ingredients in it.
And that's kind of cool.
And it tasted so good. I was so pleasantly surprised with how good that crust tasted. I was convinced that I must have made a mistake and ate dairy.
Wow. But that's a kind of good way around.
But that was my first pizza I had during this whole 30 days challenge. And I used the Veal Life mozzarella. Veal Life is doing a great job with their vegan cheeses. Shout out to Veal Life. Thank you so much for making these awesome vegan cheeses. We love it. I'm excited to try all of their other cheeses, like their cheddar and their feta. He just brought me their feta to try. I'm going to give him the cheddar to try. We swap cheeses. That's how we do.
I love that.
That's how we do.
Now I can
Sharing is caring.
Yes.
But yeah, and it's exciting trying these new things, you know? And there's so many options now. You know, even the same company that makes the Tofurkey, they're coming out with cheeses now too.
That's
there was an article about it in Forbes.
That's awesome.
I mean, I just feel like now is the time where
it's
vegan is in. Vegan is
it's
in.
Kind of
it's popular. It's like it's the cool thing to do right now.
Actually, I have a friend
right?
who use that. They claim, "Oh, I'm vegan." I'm like,
I'm cool now. Because like, join the cool club, guys. Join the cool club.
Okay, if you feel like, why not? You know? So
yeah.
But you know, I have to say something.
Say it.
Just
say it like you mean it.
I'm going to say this and just kind of fill me in, like, what's your observation of it.
Mm-hmm.
But I think like your energy has changed.
Baby.
You know, like I love always your energy, but now it's on like even more like, I don't know, like I see you more happier, I see you more brighter. Like we have those moments, but it's not as consistent as I keep seeing.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know if it has to do with veganism or whatnot. That's why I want to get your input.
It has to do with feeling like I have a new passion in life.
Wow.
And that's this way of life. This lifestyle that I've chosen is, it's a passion. Wow. It's a new passion of mine, and that coincides with our plant-based music that we're putting out, and it's all connected. And the new website that we just launched, and being able to pay it forward and inspire other people to feel the way we feel. That's the whole point of it, right?
I'm very moved because I can't even believe this is really coming out of your mouth because this is. I think I already had the hope is really to inspire as many people as possible. But as far as I'm concerned, I was already so moved by you and what you've done already and how much
I wouldn't have done this if it wasn't for you. You helped me get here.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
You helped me get here, and I can't imagine where I'd be if I haven't met you.
Oh, stop.
I mean
but
that.
you know when I was really
that.
touched when we were about to do our music video and we were getting ready. And we were about to do talk or something like that. I don't know. We were gonna do 15-day talk. Yes. And your grandma called.
Yeah, we mentioned that in the last video.
Oh, we did. Oh my gosh, yes.
Yeah.
But then she just left us the message the other day again.
Well, yeah. So what happened was she commented on us commenting on her in the video. She was like, "You guys shouted me out in your video."
I feel like famous.
Of course
she
we
is
did.
famous to me.
Yes,
I love her.
My grandma felt famous that we shouted her out, and that was
we love
awesome.
you,
You're right.
Grandma.
That was awesome. Mwah. Kisses for Tita.
Yes, we love you, Tita.
But I want to actually share one of the. A few of the sentences from that Forbes article that I had mentioned. It says, in the U.S., retail sales of plant-based cheese grew 19% in the 12-month period ending last April, where sales of dairy cheese have stayed flat.
Oh. And actually, I don't think that sentence, the second sentence, is absolutely 100% right, because if there's an increase of non-dairy cheese, eventually has to be a little bit of decrease, I would say.
Well, at least it's not going up is the point,
Right.
So the trend is showing.
Of course.
And then they also said sales of all plant-based foods grew 11% during that same period, while overall food sales were up just 2%.
Wow.
The global vegan cheese market is on track to grow 15% annually through 2024.
That's a good news.
Yeah, and consumers in North America accounted for the biggest share of vegan cheese consumption in 2018. So yeah.
Wow.
So you know, it's on the up and up, and now's the best time to jump on this train. It's the best time to get on board because all the cool stuff is coming out right now. We have all these fun things to try, and I have to say that's what made it not as hard for me getting through this challenge, is because I was making sure to surround myself with lots of yummy food for this whole 30 days.
Yummy vegan food.
Yes, yummy vegan food. I was surrounded by, I bought and tried every single cool vegan thing that I could find.
The concept.
I was never hungry or anything like that. I was just pleasantly full, happy belly.
Wow. No, I think you brought a beautiful key points.
Yeah.
You know, if you're traveling to a friend or if you're traveling to a certain place and you're not 100% sure, maybe have like a snacks or something to have you over. That was like a really good point. The second one, you were doing all these different cool vegan options that you kind of got yourself involved with all that thing.
I tried all different kinds of vegan chocolates, all different kinds of vegan ice creams. I ate them. All different kinds of vegan cheeses. I was experimenting and eating.
And you also subscribed to some food.
And I also for the first week I got my my Hungry Root meal kit delivered, and I actually made a video. You guys can watch that after this. Or you might have already seen it, but I did a Hungry Root review and unboxing video, and I showed you all the yummy food I made, and I definitely recommend that to jumpstart any vegan challenge, and I got a discount code for that as well. But head over to that video if you want to learn about that. But and the other thing that I wanted to mention was one thing I noticed is that when I ate regular dairy ice cream in the past, I would kind of feel like a little uncomfortable afterwards. I'd feel bloated, a little gassy, like just not, I wouldn't feel sexy, you know, like I wouldn't be in the mood for anything specific. And don't get me wrong, I really enjoyed it in the moment while I was eating it, but the after effects always made me regret eating it.
Wow.
You know, and what happens when I ate the Nada Moo ice cream is that I never got that full uncomfortable feeling. So you don't really know when to stop. So I ended up eating like the whole pint because I just felt this. Every bite, just my body felt the same. So I'm like, oh, I can just keep going. I could eat this ice cream to eternity, and I'm just gonna stay skinny and I'm gonna stay feeling sexy. But seriously, so that was good and bad, because of course I don't want to be eating a full pint of ice cream, because that's a lot of sugar, whether it's vegan or not, it's sugar, right?
Absolutely.
But at the same time, like, I ate a whole pint of ice cream and I felt fine, and that's impressive. That's impressive.
But then the other thing, you try something you like, and of course in the beginning stage you're gonna overeat it in a way. But the good thing about that whole concept, even after overeating it, you still felt okay.
I still felt fine.
I could have
eaten another pint, I think.
I like that. I have another question.
I don't like that.
You know, no, but let me ask you this question.
What?
Have you noticed, since you moved vegan, do you have that feeling when eating a food you feel after that? Ever? Be honest. This wasn't...
I would feel that way a lot before it was vegan. I would feel
especially
like just
the meat
uncomfortable.
Eater. I remember myself.
Also because I have like a little bit of digestive issues. I have what is it called? Functional dyspepsia. So I'm supposed to have like a low FODMAP diet or something like that, which means it's a little annoying. And so I actually haven't been noticing those symptoms that I normally was noticing before it was vegan. Yeah. So that's a huge bonus, because anyone who has suffered from functional dyspepsia know that is very annoying and very uncomfortable in your belly.
Wow. So do you want to talk about, I know you talk in a 15-day like a positives? Like, do you wanna bring some, if you notice any new changes, if you
this was one other thing. I was actually in the airport and I went to the Starbucks in the airport and I asked them for a chai tea latte. I love chai tea lattes with coconut milk. And I don't know why. I don't know if it was my mind or if I was just bugging or something. But every sip I took, I'm like, oh my God, this tastes like dairy milk. This tastes like dairy milk. And now I'm already sitting on the plane, so it's not like I can go back to Starbucks and ask them, like, are you sure you put coconut milk? And I'm thinking to myself, this is an airport in Florida. I bet not a lot of people are asking for coconut milk in their Starbucks tea right now. I'm like, it could totally be an honest mistake that this person would just threw in the wrong milk. But I'm like, I don't know, if should I keep drinking, should I not? And I kind of like psyched myself for a little bit, and then I'm like, well, maybe it was coconut milk, because coconut milk does have a rich kind of texture to it, especially if Starbucks was using a good quality one. So I can't say for sure. I mean, I'm assuming they made it correctly, but I guess there's a chance that they could have made it incorrectly. Okay. But I totally like bugged myself out, and I didn't get to enjoy any of that drink because every sip I was like, tripping. I think this tastes like dairy. I'm like, I don't know. I haven't had dairy in a while. I'm like, it was just a weird moment.
I would say, you know what? I think I have a solution for that. Did you had like a upset stomach after that by any chance? No. So I think that kind of tells, because if you haven't had a milk for so long, and then you just kind of have
maybe I would have been uncomfortable for that flight. So I got the big one too. Mm-hmm.
So I think you should be good, but like you were a little bit tripping, because I'm telling you guys, you're gonna try some of this vegan food. And you're gonna be like, sometimes people are like, okay, you're ridiculous, and you're probably gonna get into that as well down the line if you continue. But like, it tastes so freaking good, that you're like, this. I just cannot believe this is me. I'm vegan, and I'm like, are you sure? And it's like, I'm 150% sure. And when I hear that, I still ask, are you sure? And I'm sure that's very annoying, but it just stays so freaking good. Like Impossible Burger. Let's talk about that for a second. The Burger King.
Yes, when we went to Burger King,
I'm not believing it.
It looks and tastes way too like the real thing.
It actually tastes better.
I'm like, did they give us the wrong burger? I asked you that.
Every time we had. We had a few actually when we were doing a video.
Yeah.
That's the only thing open in the city, I guess, after all these hours. But every time we sit down and there's only one indication pretty much that says, and it's a wrap, guys. It says Impossible
rapper
Burger.
says Impossible.
And I'm like, but what if they put like Impossible
I mean, people
rapper?
make mistakes. People make mistakes. It could
I'm
happen.
tripping every time, guys. I swear to God, I'm eating that, and I'm like, if somebody's doing a hidden camera and they just put a regular meat in, and I'm eating, and I'm like, this tastes so good, and it's like actually a regular meat. I couldn't tell. And many people who are actually regular meat eater, they couldn't tell. That's how good it is.
I want to do a burger taste test with one of my meat eating friends where we have vegan burgers and non-vegan burgers and have them like blindfolded and try to figure out which is which.
You know what you should note now, maybe? Talk about your family who came to visit and you went with your boyfriend. Just give them the quick story.
My boyfriend's family came from the DR, and they are huge meat eaters, and we took them to Bear Burger, which is an awesome vegan friendly restaurant that G told me about, of course, and didn't really show them the menu because Spanish is their first language anyway, so they didn't really care to look at the menu, and my boyfriend just ordered everything for them, and they all stuffed their faces with these burgers and had no clue that they were eating vegan burgers. It even had vegan bacon on these burgers, and they were clueless. It wasn't until later on that evening, maybe like 6, 7, 8 hours later, that I was like, how did you guys enjoy those burgers you had today? And they were like, they were so great. It was so yum. And I was like, those are my favorite burgers too. And they're like, what? They're like, you can't eat that. You're a vegetarian. 'Cause that was before I was vegan that this happened. And I was like, oh no, those are my favorite burgers. And they're like, well, I don't understand. I'm like, those were vegan. And they were like, oh my God, we'd eat those every day. They were shocked that they didn't know.
They laughed.
Oh my God, it was such a fun moment. We had so much fun laughing hysterically. That's a moment we'll remember forever.
And you know, one thing I love, even though if you're non-vegan, it's cool concept because it doesn't really matter in the end of the day. I mean, is it something gonna happen if you have like a vegan meal? like you can go
if
with
they
it,
enjoy
right?
it, they're pleasantly surprised. But a lot of them don't even want to try it because they're like, oh, they're turned off by the concept of trying it for some
And
reason.
if
A
they
lot of
know,
people.
they could probably try the same, and they will say it doesn't taste the same.
Exactly.
Right?
Yes.
So that's where this whole
because your
thing
mind
works.
messes with what you think and what So
Exactly.
yeah.
So
You're absolutely right.
I thought that was a cool story. I loved
You're
it.
right. That was a good story to share.
Do you have any other
That
notes?
was everything. I made
Okay.
sure I wrote down everything that I
like
wanted
that.
to talk to you guys about, and I said it all. And it's a wrap, guys. We did it. 30
Oh my
days.
gosh.
Thanks to G, I made it. And
Well, we have a very
Yeah.
crucial question. I was gonna have two more, but let's do it for the end because I think we're taking this a little longer.
as we always
what's
do.
What's the next step?
The next step is to continue paying it forward. I want other
No!
people to feel how I
No!
What do you mean no?
Oh my
What do you mean
God!
no? Of course you know this already. I've said this before.
Well,
And how are we
well-
paying it forward? With our plant-based music.
Well,
our
you'll
goal
continue to
is
be
to
vegan, right?
inspire and educate people. Well, of course. I mean, my gosh.
But no, of course, just watch the first video. Oh, I don't know if I can do 30 days. If I do 30 days, I'm gonna go back. Listen to this now.
Yeah.
I love it.
It feels good.
That's so cool.
I feel genuinely good in my soul, and I feel like I'm spreading compassion.
But let me just finish now this thought because I just want to go back to that first video because it's such a dramatic transformation in just a short period of time. You were like so passionate at the time about cheese and how to give up this and this and that, and how you give up so much going vegetarian and all those different types of things you had to say then. How does it feel now?
I still agree with all those things that I said in that video.
I'm
I'm not taking any of those things
No,
back.
but
'Cause don't
for
get
you,
me wrong.
how do you feel now?
The thought of like the pizza and the empanadas that I used to eat, the thought of it still is like, damn, that stuff was good, and I'm always gonna think that. But maybe if I was to try it after a certain amount of time of being vegan, it won't taste as good as I remembered. I don't know.
Maybe that can be one of the challenges, I guess.
Maybe. I don't know if I want to go backwards right now because I'm on such an up and up, but we'll see. For the purpose of video,
Maybe down the line. No, nothing to be...
maybe I would do that for the purpose of
Awesome.
video, but we'll see. Right now, I'm just
Okay.
happy to be vegan and happy to be spreading this love with you guys and sharing more tips and inspiration and motivation through our music. So Stay tuned. We got a lot of cool stuff coming up. Our parody videos for plant-based education. We got a lot in store for you, and so we're really excited.
Yes, we are super excited, guys. Also, please make a comment, engage with us, send us, what you're thinking. Is there anything you would like to know more about each and one of us? Or if you think we're blabbing too much, just tell us. We'll keep it shorter. We'll promise.
I know
But I
these
think
last
this
two
is
videos were
exciting.
long, but it was a big step, and there was a lot to share. But
so
our
proud
parody
of you.
videos will keep those short and sweet
Very
and funny.
short.
Okay.
Yes, we promise.
But also, if you are interested in trying a vegan challenge, make sure you go to veganercooking.com. That's our website right there, and we will help you get through it, and we will help you have fun doing it.
Oh,
All
I
right,
like
guys.
that.
All right.
Yes.
Bye.
See ya, guys.
Love you.